Now, as we are reaching the end of our bootcamp, I wanted to talk a bit about algorithmic trading. Look, it's a very different job from being a retail trader that uses, his brain and hands to trade manually. The reason why I say this is because, we're reaching a time, an era where technology is being more and more and more predominant. And if any one of you watching this wants to become a top trader, institutional trader in a very big firm, you'll need to understand this. And this won't be a debate. You need to understand it. It's not like, do I? Yes, you do. So basically, when you use a robot to trade, it's very different from you how you reason with your own human brain. It's very different. The more you add confirmations and things to analyze to your robot advisor, the more you overfit it, and the more it either doesn't trade or it doesn't work. Basically, because you may have more losses than anything else. You need to find a precise edge, make it as simple as possible, and only base yourself on that edge for your robot to trade. For example, you have feelings as a human. So you may look at multiple things and everything would tell you buy, but there's one small details that would make you feel that something's off and you wouldn't take that trade, and you would be right to not take that trade because it would end up as a loss. But a robot, a code is very different. You tell it what to do and it does it without thinking. So if you have a good edge, the best edge you have, the simplest you make it, the simplest you give it, you create a very simple code that simply trade on one simple edge, then you're able to make money. So if I take this example, you have a code here. So basically you would import everything you need for your code. Here you have an explanation. It's a daily FX that is based on Lopez de Prado style, because I read this book of Marco Lopez de Prado, very good book, taught me a lot of things, and it's recommended by a lot of people, so I read it, and I used a lot of things here to basically try to make my code fit. And what you can see here is that I might have probably made it overfit because I used a lot of confirmations and analysis, but all the things we talked about during our bootcamp, I used it here. So you might see, for example, that I backtested it in a certain period, so from 2020 to 2025, with a set cash that I virtually deposited. Here you have self period 50, so it's a daily window with a leverage of 100. Here you have Euro USD that I used as a benchmark. So anything I would trade, I would base myself on Euro USD, which is not necessarily the best, as a forex trader, but I wanted to find a way to make that code be easily understandable and being easily backtested. This is also, I'm presenting the first things I done. So this is my first code. Here you have symbols and all the symbols that I wanted to trade, and the code won't trade anything else than this. Okay? And then you have the portfolio, you have the risk management rules that I applied, and then you have the edge. So basically all of this is the edge. So standard deviation, volume that I'm using, and I'm basically basing myself on this standard deviation and volume. And when there is volatility, I'm in and I'm out based on the trend of the day. Okay? Then you have a rolling window, so it resets. Then you have, leveraged portfolio, and here SVM wave wallet is basically to avoid the noise. Okay, now if we go here and we coded it, it's a bit long as a code, but it's fine. So it was, you know, close to like between 5, so here's the thing, 6% profit, and the lowest point is probably here, -3. So that's fine. That could, you know, pass a challenge easily. And here it started basically becoming very, very profitable until reaching 60%, as I see here, 60%, which is very good, you know. Here you have a Sharpe ratio of 0.5. You should have a higher Sharpe ratio. This is very important. Maximum drawdown of 9%. You have a loss rate of 49%, win rate of 51%, and it's profitable basically because I use that risk management, you know. Otherwise, if it's a one-to-one all the time, it would just basically be, you know, 1% win. So no, you need a good risk management to make it happen. So here you have all the drawdown. Here you have the most traded asset by volume. Here you have, you know, how the portfolio was managed by the code. You have the exposure, you have the short ratio and the long ratio. So how many times did we take a long, how many times did we take a short? You have the capacity here, which is good. It's still good. It's not good that it's going down. The capacity should stay here, but it's good. Portfolio turnover. Here you have the win rate, and the win rate dropped here just because, you know, we arrived at the end here. We basically took our money out, so don't consider this. But here we have a 1 month win rate, we have a 3 months win rate, we have a 6 months win rate, and then we have a 12 months win rate. Okay, and here it's the rolling Sharpe ratio, which should be higher, because here it's close to 0, to be honest. It should be higher. For example, if it's at 6, I would be happy. Anyways, and as you can see, you can move, you can play with it, I can click here and have more information, etc., etc. Right? So it's a very different game. At least I wanted to show you a bit of an overview of how it works, and now you know how it works. So you'll sleep less dumb tonight. Just you sleep smarter tonight. And if you're interested in that, I'll make more videos about this in a separate bootcamp, or just like, you know, I'll drop like some videos here and there on YouTube. And obviously I have my Discord where I mentor people, where I show everything, my trades, my ideas and everything. So, you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be in that Discord and, you know, keep up with the community if you actually want to be a trader. Anyways, I'll see you in the last videos that are coming, and we'll be trading together in the last 3 videos. So I'll see you there, and I hope you'll enjoy that part, because that part will actually be fun. See you there.